That's awesome. So look, at this time that you are now looking to broaden your horizons, could it be because of what another skit maker told me? One of your colleagues who is now, he's very big as well. Okay. So he was speaking to me recently. He said, bros, the money not gonna be like before again. No, many people don't rush. There are a lot of people now in the space. Is that true? As the value been watered down in terms of how much you can make now? In short, is it too late for an aspiring person to want to jump into the skit market now?
No, it's not. It's not. So a lot of content creators have said that, have asked me that question, right? So I remember in those days you would for 1 month you'd make like 400, 300,000, 250. But because that money is now being shared among other creators, so
just to be clear, dollars not naira.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just run in 1 month, $250,000, $300,000. Those days. We're talking what year here?
The 2017s, 18, 19s.
Okay. All right then.
Now, creators have entered the space, but it doesn't mean that you still not make that money. So what I advise people that are here in this space for the money to survive and all, you are one person making X amount of money. How much would you make if you multiply yourself by having other creators, teaching those creators and taking a little of what they are making? That's what I'm doing. That's why you have all these creators, associated with me. Because I teach them. I won't be this funny forever. I'm not going to be this funny forever. So one day I'm just going to sit down and say, how much you don't make? Or I give me my cut. I give me my tithes. So that's the whole essence. So if you have this money is still there. Advertisers are still, giving out jobs to these platforms. So it means that this money is still there, right? And the more creators come in, the more people consume, content, and then the more advertisers come. If you have this bulk money come and you just take a chunk of at least most part of it, you're still making that money. It doesn't have to be you creating the content and making the money. It could be people that you raise, make that money, and still appreciate you with, contracts that you have with them and all. Business will still continue.
Okay, great. So how long from when you started, because you started by your own testimony now in 2013 or thereabouts, yeah? Circa 2013. How long after you started this thing, how long did it take for you to blow up? When did the blow up come?
2015.
You've been doing that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Before. So what was the experience?
The 2015 was just, people just started knowing about me. But I think the main blow up was in 2016. And that was when I thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this as a full-time job.
What were you doing before then, part-time?
Photography, videography jobs. I'll take jobs, film jobs and edit. I used to do effects before, but I let all that go, So I was just doing freelance jobs while I was also doing that one.
Oh, really? So it took 3 years. Were you discouraged at any point during those 3 years? I mean, this thing is not picking up. I must stop this thing. My hopes and my dreams, whatever I thought I saw is not happening. Were you discouraged at any point, or was it up and up and up? Do you ever look back and say, man, thank God, say, I not give up. I didn't give up that time when I was discouraged though.
There were so many times when I was discouraged. So many times. But the vision and belief I had was stronger than the discouragement. Most times I'll be like, is this thing actually going to work? I start doubting myself. Are you sure these guys are not right? Because people were telling me, there's not... I had this, my friend, Aloy. I will say it on this show. I hope he watches this thing. I had this Aloy. Aloy nearly discouraged me from this life. Aloy nearly made me stop whatever I was doing. In fact, Aloy talked to me one day. One day I had my laptop. I was coming back with the camera, And Allah stopped me because he was working in Shell. He said, come, Mark, wait. Now this thing you use feed family. Aloy. How I say come? Now this thing you go use feed family. You always work out with laptop, carry work laptop. I don't see you. The morning I dey go work, I see you carry laptop pass. This evening I don't come back again, carry laptop pass. Oh yeah, enter bike now. Try the enter bike. As at that time, every money I was making, I was investing it in my craft. Because at the time, the only way you could get ahead was to pay bloggers. NotJustOkay.com, NigerPit.com, all those bloggers those days, those are the people I was paying. In fact, NotJustOkay.com, I think, was it NotJustOkay.com or one other person that I put on like monthly payment? I was paying the guy 30,000 naira every month to put my stuff out there. So I was making money and I was hustling to make sure that I had money to pay bloggers to put these stuff out there.
Wow, you know what that wow, I just had a come to Jesus moment now. So you were making the content and you were putting it online, then you were paying bloggers to push it for you.
Yes.
So I was making content and I was paying TV stations to broadcast my content.
You?
Yes.
Exactly what happened. But now, those same bloggers will come to you and say they want to pay you to, do stuff for them, put their content out. I'm sure it happens to you now.
Yeah, but so here's the thing for you. Was there anybody who you remember now who might have been dismissive of you, who was come back now to ask you for something? Maybe they forgot, because people have selective amnesia sometimes. And sometimes it's that people are shameless. They forget that either overtly or covertly, either directly or indirectly, they dismissed you. For example, Aloy. Have you seen Aloy since?
I talked with him last night. So Aloy works in my construction company now.
He works for you now?
Yes, he works for me now. So every time I talk about this thing, I tell him, you know our Nigerian way, we talk and we yab ourselves so much, and then we'll go back to business. But then there's one particular instance that I always use to talk to people. Say, don't leave your craft. There was a girl. I don't know how many people remember this video that Emanuela was sitting down with a girl on the ground. They were playing, and then somebody was just polluting, and then they were I'm like, who mess? That video, the day I shot that video, I spent about 8 hours there having them say those lines. There was a girl. When we started, the girl was standing by their house, and then I think in the evening the boyfriend came and was like, what are they doing? Say, don't mind these people. This is rubbish way these boys just they do. Every time just they carry this girl, they carry camera, they put. She said it so loud. She wasn't even making it. She wasn't even trying for us not to hear it. She was saying it and was looking at us. And it was weird because I couldn't look back. I was like, oh God, Jesus. But that girl said that thing discouraged me. And this nagge way at the eye, kwa. So that thing made me. I think that thing made me have a pattern of passing there. Anytime I pass, I just walk like I'm a very serious person in my life. Ladies know that I'm very serious in my life.
There's no skits that I'm shooting.
I mean, I'm not just carrying camera up and down. At least the other things I can at least, But that girl, she came to me one time with a child and said, that's her child, that I should train the child.
In acting?
That same girl. So I'm always, and I say, do you remember? She said, yeah, she's ashamed.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well done. That must have been,
Glory to God.
you must have felt justified.
But then at the end of the day, we are human beings and those are bound to happen. So we make, in fact, those are mistakes that we make too. You know, it's not like there's one individual who is a bad person that will always make them say, we all make those mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, there are bad people, but by and large, most people, humanity is, I mean, you must be tolerant of people, right?
Yeah.
Even we have dismissed other people at some point.
Yes.
You know, so we need people to forgive us. So I get that. I get that. Well done. Yeah. So
One of the biggest businesses right now in Nigeria, online businesses, came to me one time. I dismissed him. I entered at a very late, like, the reason why I'm not on the table, on the executive table, because I didn't enter at the right time. I dismissed because I didn't see what he was saying. It was later I said, wait. What did this guy just tell me? By that time, other investors had bought into it. So everybody does that. Everybody does it.
that's good. Look, so you're not just a skit maker, you're a comedian. For example, so I'm watching that skit that you did, right? And I'm laughing. In fact, it was my wife that was laughing so much. She was laughing so loud. I had to ask her, what's the problem? So she now showed me the video. Pion.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm watching that and I'm thinking that, look, this guy is a comedian. These boys have become the comedians now, right? And then the next day I'm speaking to one of my colleagues who's a stand-up comedian, you know, and he's saying that, well, the skit boys are not real comedians. And I get that often. They're not real comedians. They can't stand on stage. They can't make people laugh and all of that. Do you feel that kind of pushback from the stand-up comedy industry?
Yes.
That you have come to disrupt? Because you've disrupted.
And they are right. Look, they are right. Stand-up comedy should be respected. Look, people who do stand-up comedy are the real comedians. We are creators of content because we can sit down and write and try, and when it doesn't work, we try again. The stand-up comedians don't have the chance to try again. They only have their materials and then they go through their materials and hope that it's going to make somebody laugh. You know, if my material doesn't make you laugh, I stitch my materials. If it doesn't make you laugh, I'm not going to put it out. Well, for a stand-up comedian, if you want to put your material out and test, at least you have to go to a comedy bar. You have to have an audience.
Yes.
And those audience you're going to get rejection from those audience just for testing. So I think a lot of my colleagues in the content space have said that what is it that they are doing that we are not doing? I'm like, we're not even doing quarter of what they're doing. They are the real talented comedians. We are just filmmakers. I don't know. Sometimes I say people call me comedian, but I don't like the title comedian because am I really a comedian? I'm funny. Being funny doesn't make you a comedian. Comedy is a profession. So it's my character as a funny person that I've put on screen. But can I turn that, because I told you that I would turn this into an industry. And this is what I have done. I've turned that being funny, having a child's mindset and being able to imagine things, turned it into an industry in Nigeria and in Africa, right? But can I say that I'm a comedian? No, I'm not a comedian. I'm just a comic content creator, not a comedian.
Okay, so now that you have turned this thing into an industry, do all the other comers and players in the industry right now, including the biggest ones, do they give you the deference as the bros, as the big bros? You know how it is in all sectors of entertainment. You know, even in acting, we get big bros, we get bros. You know, in comedy, we get big bros, we get bros. I suppose it's like that in music. Do even the biggest skit makers now give you your due? Do they give you your flowers as the guy who is number one?
Okay. Now, I'll tell you personally, I don't even like anybody to give me that, because I mean, every day I'm a newcomer in the industry. Every day, I try to make sure that I am a beginner. I learn every day. If ever I see myself as somebody that actually, that's a work that I've done. I've set a path, right? And now I am even following that path. I'm even making entries to that path. So you see that in the past few years now, I've been changing the dynamics of my comedy. I've been changing, I go from this type of comedy to this type of comedy. But we have created an industry already, right? So I'm an upcoming every day. Yes, that's the truth. I'm an upcoming every day. So had it been that kudos comes with money, with a levy, I'll be like, yes, you guys should bring the money now. Bring it. I'm the boss here, but it doesn't come with it, so it's useless. It's one of the most useless things because it will even discourage you. It will even lower your morale to hustle. When you start seeing people as newcomers and that you've been here, there are things you can't do with them because you feel like, how would this person now feel if I beg him to help me do this thing? So, and that will now make you want to say, come help me do this without begging the person. Do you understand? So
I get that.
I try to make sure that I don't even remember it. I don't even remember it because every day I am new to the industry. Every day I am looking for ways to get help from the people that others will normally call the newcomers. They are my bosses now.
So, along the same lines, another stand-up comedian told me that, look, I wish that in the stand-up comedy industry we had the unity that the skit boys, that's what he said, the skit boys, the content creators, that they have a unity. They always help themselves. In fact, he said that people have some sort of informal association of sorts going, that when one skit maker is coming up, you pull him up or you pull her up, and so on and so forth. When one skit maker is doing something, you see all of them there, and so on and so forth. It's not that way in the stand-up comedy industry. Yes, we do support each other, but it's almost like in cliques. So this person has his own clique, and then his people come out and support him. Mm-hmm. That person has his own cliques. You won't see them crisscrossing and all of that. So is it true? Does this this unity, does it exist amongst all skit makers?
Yes, it does. And that's mostly because there's no competition in skit making. You could have a show today and that person will have a show the same day as a stand-up comedian, but we don't have such thing. If I release my video today and you release your video today, the same people that watch your video will go and watch my video. So there's no competition. So we don't even see the need for anybody to even have clique. That's why we help people, because this industry is so big. We can't even serve. We can't serve the audience. It's so big. Everybody's on his phone now. Everybody is looking for something, looking for content, looking for something to watch. So in a day, an average person consumes about 2 to 3 hours of content, and we're making 3 minutes of videos. How many comedians or how many content creators would have served one person? So you see that it's large. The space is too big. You can't have competition. In fact, we are making now. I have about 13 YouTube channels, right? And we are dropping content on those YouTube channels individually, and it's still not enough. It's still not enough. People still want to consume content. You make a 30 minutes content and like, that is too short. People are bored. People want to do something. People are bored. They just want to watch something. People want entertainment in the world. So you can't have that competition. It can't happen. Even if somebody wanted it, it will never happen. I know, I hate to call content creators skit makers. Skit making is stereotyped. Skit making is stereotyped because a content creator is somebody that will just turn anything into content, entertainment, right? So I know content creators are watching me now. There's been an instance, they will understand, only them will understand this thing. When somebody came to bring division among us, came to come and form cartels And we stood together, held hands, and said, no.
That actually happened.
Yes.
Somebody came.
Somebody came, wanted to come and involve with the government and all. We stood together, we said, no. No. Stylishly, everybody just dismissed it. And we call ourselves and say, you see that guy? Man, I don't mind those people. Oh. Nah, government. We talk to ourselves like that. If something happens now, the government has tried to fight us. But they don't know that we have meetings.
Sorry. The government has tried to fight you?
The government have tried to fight us. They brought tax and, unreasonable taxing without infrastructure, without trying to even make any input.
They wanted to tax you?
Yes. They came with one association, they came with one parastatal to come and tax us. And we sit together and we say, see these people, we'll dribble them. Because we are very intelligent people in Nigeria. There's no kind of policy you put together that will not read and find a way to, run away from, or find a way to, stand against. We read the policy and we're like, okay, since this is how in Igbo language they say, that if a kite thinks that he can fly and not perch, then the hunter will shoot and not stop.
I like it. If the bird thinks that it will just continue flying
without
perching, so that the hunter cannot get it, no problem. The hunter too
will keep shooting.
We'll see who gets tired first.
Yes. So that's what we content creators too have done. It's a thing that they can keep coming up with ways to control, because this is control. They are trying to influence us because they've seen the voice that content creation has. So they are trying to influence us. It means that if we allow them to tax us, they are going to shut a lot of people down. They're going to shut a lot of people's mouths. So in order for them not to gain that entry, we also find our own lawyers to advise us and tell us, okay, if they bring it like this, we go this way. They come this way, we go that way. We are like 5 steps ahead of them. We are seeing loopholes that they will never see, and we are using those things. They will never. It's Nigeria. We are united. We are as united as you see that. It's hard for even politicians to influence us as a unit. You can't, because I think everybody in that space has sense, and then everybody just talks. We just talk to ourselves. You see what that guy they do? See what they do? Man, I don't mind them. We just pretend. Ah, yes. No put stamp.
Really?
We're just gonna no put stamp.
Wow. That is amazing. So, because I'm thinking as a normal human being, it must be human psychology for you to post a video and then to see another skit maker post a video and the video is doing better than yours. I mean, surely on occasion, so maybe not you because you are on top, but surely it must be normal. So maybe they now deal with those feelings, but surely it must be normal for a skit maker to post a video and to not be so happy if the video didn't do so well, and yet another colleague who posted about the same time, the video is doing better. I mean, people must look at people's numbers and followings and say, man, this guy has X number of followers, I still am on this level, and all of that. You're saying that even with all of those feelings, it still hasn't poisoned the well in any which way?
Yes, it still hasn't. And if anybody is posting video and feeling bad that the video is not getting views or getting views, is not the yardstick for measuring your growth.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's not.
Views is not the yardstick for measuring your growth.
No, it's not.
All right, tell me, what is?
So